wow, look at us. We're all back together. Oh,
It makes sense for that. Sorry.
I was like, why is your fan backwards?
Are you thirsty or are
Anyway.
you hungry?
Or
Oh.
you're Vanilla Luzon. Or you're a
I'm
drag
just
addict.
gay. I'm sorry.
And River's just fabulous. So
This
Right.
is
Floral.
literally the only fan I have, and it's falling apart. So
Purple
That's me.
floral seems correct for this episode.
Period.
florals for spring,
mhm.
groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking. But kia ora, queens, and welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay. I am currently drinking, to nobody's surprise at all, because this is the only energy drink I've been drinking recently. Ardor Energy. Ooh. It's energy seltzer, which is very, very lovely. Today I'm drinking pink grapefruit, and I'm not sponsored, but God, I wish I was. So Ardor, hit your boy up. It would be great. I would be a great spokesperson. Thank you.
Well, great. Hi, everybody. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi. I
oi.
am your, oh, yes, I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva. And I'm here to get the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. I am just drinking on some water here because that's the first, what is, oh, my wig for Halloween is there too. Yeah, water. Because hydration is important and it's very good for you. So drink you some water and more Halloween stuff all over the place. It's just one of these days. I do have my cup mug too. Ew. Top row full of cup mugs. With top row full of cup mugs. Hey, we love to see it. And you can get your cup mug at LanaGsCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug. I mean, y'all know the excuses, but you know what to do still. Get your cup mugs. Period.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. For this Australian premiere, this Down Under premiere, I had to wear one of the most iconic Down Under queens shirts, and it is, of course, Sasha Colby, who is not from Australia. But
The most
I was
famous
waiting
Down
for it.
Under queen.
she sure
was
was
like,
down
who-
under this episode, so I had to wear it.
Word. Word.
I'm just drinking some water right now.
It's new.
And hi, I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on The Cup. And today I'm drinking water as well out of my Central Park mug because it's one of the largest ones that I have, and I'm thirsty.
Perk.
Smelly
Perk. Or should we say perk?
cat. Smelly cat.
Ooh.
Perk.
Perk.
And I am Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I am here to talk shit and get hit. It is still morning for me, so I am lucky enough to be drinking a coffee here. Also, happy Day of the Dead. I know it's probably a little late for y'all, but it's Day of the Dead here, so I am very happy today. Yay.
Our procession is later today, and I am planning on going, so I'm very excited. So, yay. Well, we are back. We are down under, and I have to say, I was very, very thrilled with this premiere. Very happy. It felt, and this is no disrespect to any prior season of Down Under. I'm going to say that right now. It's no disrespect to any of the girls or anything like that. This franchise already feels refreshed. One episode in, I'm like, the energy is different. The lack of RuPaul is evident. And it is really honestly refreshing. And I think overall, Michelle did a phenomenal job, and I think she's going to do a phenomenal job with this season. And I'm excited. So,
Yeah, I enjoyed her this season.
Agreed.
I thought she did well. I thought this episode it gave us a sense of newness. And so I enjoyed the sense of newness, and I can't wait to see what it continues to bring throughout the season. I am not a stickler for I don't like change. I do like change, and I like the refreshingness that it came. I mean, I think we still had a little bit of Rue presence, and I hope we still continue to at least let Rue do the the male, the TV screen thing, because I still think I like a little Rue every now and again in franchises where Rue has been a part of, but I do like the freshness of this episode and how Michelle kind of just made it her own. And I do like that we had in the workroom, the new workroom, the old Queen's pictures up instead of just
Yeah.
all Rue pictures around the workroom. So I kind of enjoy that, and I like this theme of the season, the doubling down of the theme, where it's like we're going to let queens from down under judge the queens from down under. And so I love that aspect. I wish they would do that in a lot of different franchises where the queens
Mhm.
who actually are queens and know queens,
España,
who knows what they're doing or have been in that position, are the ones judging these
UK, but
queens.
Rue
I
would
would
never
love
allow it.
because Rue wants to be the only queen on the panel. And I get it. That's fine. But I would love to see more drag queens actually judging and being on the panel and, critiquing these queens.
And we've seen that be successful with a franchise that is very, very successful, like Canada, where they do bring back the girls. And as we're about to see with season 5 coming soon, which I'm very excited about, there's a lot of both American and Canadian queens coming back to help judge. And I think that it's a really lovely part of Drag Race, and I'm glad they're acknowledging the queens that have come before.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah,
I
I feel
think
like
we also end up getting better feedback and better content to watch when we have queens judging and doing all of that. I like it. I like change when it's refreshing and for the better, in my opinion, like this.
Get in there, David. You
Yeah.
were saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna
David.
say, I feel like sometimes Down Under is treated kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the franchise. And I think it's because a lot of people go into Down Under expecting the standard and like the type of looks to be similar to other countries. And really, people need to throw out those expectations because Down Under, she's the personality girl. She is the fun girl. She is the camp girl. And I got so much of that this episode. I was living for it. I can't remember the last time I laughed so much at a premiere. These girls are giving me everything I want with their personalities, and they brought really good looks too. So I'm happy all around with this premiere.
I was gonna say, is this about to be a fashion season of Down Under?
Maybe. All I'm gonna
Why?
say is we truly are at the renaissance of Drag Race. Like I think a
Mhm.
lot of the franchises are bringing something interesting, something new, and Down Under is one of those seasons that I feel like are like it's bringing it back. It's like creating itself back up, and it's a renaissance of not only Drag Race Down Under, but Drag Race España and like several other seasons. I am super excited to be having so many good seasons of Drag Race, and I'm excited to have this what seems to be a really good season of Drag Race also coming up. So like overall, I am very very excited.
I
I
think
would say all the. Oh, yeah,
what you
go
were
ahead, Mom.
saying, David, that it's Down Under is the personality girl. She's the fun girl. I agree so much with that, but I also think she's like, yes, I'm the fun girl, I'm the campy girl, I'm the personality girl. But baby, I can do fashion. So don't sleep on me. And I
Yeah.
love to see when franchises new seasons show you they are not what you think we are. We are not all who you say we are. We're gonna show you we are somebody else too. And I'm excited because we are used to the fun girls. We're used to the Hanacondas of the of Drag Race down under and the good time girls. They so fun. We queen
Thank
and all
you. Like
Spanky, right? They're so fun, but it's like it started last season when Miss Isis Loren came in. It was like, oh baby, but we're fashion.
I'm
We're
serving fashion
fashion.
tonight on the
We're
runway.
Yes,
period.
Gabby!
It's fashion. And we had Ivory who was fashion. Like these girls are fashion. And
And
they're
Amel.
stop.
No, I love Amel dearly, and I think
Me
she was
too.
robbed, even though I didn't want her to go home over Ivory.
Yeah, I did not want her to go either, but Amel's awesome. I can't wait to talk to Amel.
Yes, and also Amel, I saw her tweet. This is my last day as the reigning pork chop queen of Down Under.
Aw. Nope.
No, and
But
it's
then I saw
not.
the
And then they say no.
We'll talk
the
about
picture
it,
of
but
RuPaul on
Amel-
RuPaul.
another week.
Amel-
Yes,
Amel-
Amel.
Extend
Amel,
Amel's
retweet that
reign.
next week. Retweet that next week. It's fine. It's
Yes,
fine.
absolutely.
Just quote it and be like, okay,
quote it,
now it's my.
and now is my last week. Because spoiler, no one goes home.
I love it.
Which I
Well-
wasn't mad at. But yes, let's get into this
No,
episode.
I was gonna say
We
it
should get
made
into it.
sense with the theme. It made sense
Yeah.
with the theme. But
Yes.
we're gonna talk about all of this. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time, giving you almost all things drag. And currently, it's almost all things very good drag. All the drag we got going on right now is very good drag, and I'm excited about it. And make sure to check out the description below, where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to most of the Look Over Here episodes for the franchises we are currently covering. So, without further ado, we are going to slide to the side. We're going to bring up this lovely, wonderful, fantastic slideshow that I had to hand make today myself, and I hated it, but it's fine. Thank you. Thank you. And we're going to do some first impressions, starting with Lazy Susan.
I mean, this was just Lazy Susan's drag race tonight. That's truly what it was. Like, she's just, I love that she's just doing her. I love that she came in and just said, I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do what I do. And you are going to like it. And you are going to enjoy that. And I enjoy that confidence. She's just so fun. She's so funny. I'm so excited to see her. I am so excited to see her because she's really bringing something really interesting to the season. Like I think this is my top shelf. I think this was her episode. I think she was the strongest one of the episode. So congratulations, Lazy Susan, because damn, this was your episode.
Yeah, talk about a good first impression. I mean, come on. Look at the material. Like, even before we had the main challenge, the runway, I already had on my notes that she was a standout to me. Like, from look, personality, everything. She stood out in every way to me in this episode. And she's one of the queens that I'm the most excited to see more. Because she's shown already that she's funny, at least off the cuff, and like personality, and that she can do fashion. So like if she can act and perform, I mean, I'm excited. I can see her going far, I think, already.
Yeah, we're one episode in, and I am already getting quintessential down under drag excellence from Lazy Susan. Like, this is what I come to expect from a down under queen. Somebody who's camp, somebody who has lots of personality, and somebody who has lots of fun looks. And she gave me all of that. And I'm like, wait, who's going to beat her? Who's beating her right now? Because right now she is a front runner, and it's bolded, it's underlined, there's stars all around it. Right now, she is the one to beat. She was clearly my top shelf of this episode.
Oh yeah, I didn't say it, but she was also my top shelf for sure. Yes.
It was the reason they brought her in first, and they wanted us to just look at her and be like, okay. From head to toe, this one screamed, I am going to eat this competition up. And she did that. This episode should have just been called the Lazy Susan episode. Like, she clearly is the top shelf of this episode. She was the strongest look-wise in every way. She was the strongest personality. She was the narrator of this episode. She just gave everything. If you didn't walk away from this episode and didn't know who Lazy Susan was, I don't know what show you were watching, because she was everything. And I was like, I am super, super, super impressed with her. It's her competition to like what makes me nervous. I don't want this to be the peak. I don't want her to have this episode and then it's going down from here. But I don't think that's the case. She's not giving me that vibe. I feel like she's very confident and polished and knows what she's
That's
doing.
another queen.
Huh?
That's another queen, Lana.
Oh, stop it. I think she knows who
I
she
made a
is.
David joke, okay?
Mhm.
I get it. I was gonna laugh if I wasn't thrown off by the interruption.
Anyway.
But it's fine. But yeah, she knows who she is as a queen. Period. Bottom line. And I don't see her going down any further anytime soon.
So as to diversify the top shelf choices of this episode, I will not be giving mine to Lazy Susan, though I'm going to. But I'm going to give it to someone else to spread the wealth. But I mean, at the end of the day, she shut me the hell up for my preseason thoughts about her, and I'm happy about it. I'm thrilled about it. Next up, Vybe.
Okay, so she was the second standout to me when it comes to personality and just the presence in the room. Like when they were in a group, like she just stands out. And also looks great. But I think she was throughout the episode so shady in the best way. Like I was living for it. I loved every time that they cut to confessional and it was her. I was like, excited. I knew it was something. It was gonna be something good. I was gonna laugh. It was gonna be shady. But like shady, but not mean. Just funny. So like we're starting strong because I think they are from this first episode. These are my top two. Like she was my second favorite from this episode.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with Vibe. I think she's polished, poised, and has a very commanding presence. And on top of that, she's already gotten dragged into this conflict right off the bat, which is so much fun. And the way things worked out with the challenge, like it couldn't have been scripted any better. So I'm really excited for Vibe, and I really am optimistic and hopeful that she's going to be around for a very long time because she's the girl.
Simply said, vibe is a vibe. Period. She is a vibe. And I enjoyed every moment of her on my screen this entire time.
She's also giving me very quintessential down under drag in the best possible way, and I see a lot of similarities between her and her drag sister Coco Jumbo. Just the energy, the warmth, like all of those things. I really, really did get that from Vibe in this episode, and I really enjoyed what we got to see in this episode.
I personally have very high expectations for Vibe. Just the presence that she has just makes me think that she's gonna do well, and so I have high expectations of her. She's already giving us drama and giving us good TV, so I'm excited to see her. And I just like Lana said, I think she's gonna make it far.
Her. Let's talk next about Nikita Iman.
Yes, I'm so happy I'm going first with Nikita because I'm going to cheat and I'm going to give a second top shelf. And it is to Nikita because she was the one that brought the personality, that brought the drama this episode in the best way. And I was living for every moment. She's shady, but in a way where I'm like still like really behind her and rooting for her. I would be shocked if she didn't have the most confessionals this episode. Like they were constantly going for her on opinions about everybody. And she is just great TV. She's bringing it. And I just really like the whole vibe of her drag aesthetic too.
That's someone else, David.
I know. So I'm super into Nikita. I'm really living for her.
Oh no.
I like her, but I fear she's. I got a lot of disingenuous vibes from her in this episode. It didn't feel like I felt her insecurities bubbling up to the top of this episode. And I felt like she was trying so hard because she's not as well known as all these other girls.
Are you
And she,
gatekeeping right now?
she's gatekeeping her emotions because well no her gate is wide open. I see right through this facade because baby you are insecure and about how you stack up and compare. You're trying to compare yourself to these other queens and you don't need to. You're great on your own and you don't need to compare. And it felt like felt so insecure about her standing in the drag world in Sydney or in Australia, period. She was trying to like put so much. I don't know you. Like she was trying to be sassy and she was causing drama that didn't need to be there. Like the whole gatekeeping thing. I was like, baby, ain't nobody gatekeeping you. You're new. You just got there. You said it yourself. You ain't been there for a year. Nobody's gatekeeping. You just have to earn your keep. You have to get yourself in the door. You have to work to get into a scene. Nobody's going to let you in willy-nilly. You have to work to get there. And she said herself, she hadn't been doing drag a lot. She doesn't do a lot in Sydney. So I felt like this was just her being a little, and it's not a bad thing because we are all insecure about different things, especially about a craft that we're passionate about and we're trying to get into. And I feel like she really wants to be a part of the Sydney scene and she's just not there yet. And so she's just like, it's not fair. Like you're gatekeeping it from me.
I mean, Holly said similar things last season too.
And I said I agree the same thing about Holly. I don't think they're gatekeeping. You just have to work to get there. And and her getting on this show is going to be her foot in the door to be bigger on the Sydney scene. But to come in and say you're gatekeeping from me, it's kind of like, no, you just have to work harder to get there. And I felt like she just was showing her insecurities. It felt very disingenuous. I don't think that's her. I don't think that's her personality. I think she's so much better than that. I like her. That's the thing. I'm very upset because I felt like she's so much better than this. What she gave us in this episode. I feel like she's going to be that queen that the longer she's there, the more she'll come out of her shell and the more we'll see her personality and she won't be this snippy and this sassy and she's going to be that person who would go like, oh, she's so endearing, she's so sweet, she's so kind. But in this episode she didn't give us that because she was so insecure about where she stood in the drag scene in Sydney. And I don't think that's her. It didn't come off genuine. It came off very, I'm trying to make a character. And yes, I know I'm going on longer than I'm supposed to. But this one here, she just made me so upset because I know she's better than this. I know she's better than this. Her personality to me was so disingenuous, but she is so much better than this. And I think her drag is so much better than what she's giving herself credit for. She's not being gatekeep. She just has to work harder. But she is an incredible drag artist. I think she's an incredible drag artist. She just got to get out there and do it. But she's beautiful. She don't need that. You don't need to be that way because I don't think this was good. For me, this is all my opinion. I don't feel like her drama was good TV. I just felt it was a character of what she thought would make good TV.
Final Lana rant time was 3 hours 45 minutes.
Shut up, Eduardo. Shut it up.
I love you, Lana. I'm sorry.
I love you too, boo. It's fine. Logan, please.
I like her. That's all.
I also really enjoy her. She was my second favorite of this episode. She was really fun. I do think that it was really funny that she said, "Oh, the girls in Sydney are gatekeeping," right after Vybe said, "Oh, the girls in Sydney all get along." I thought that was really funny and really that tells you a little bit about how what Vybe's standing is on this situation. I won't really go into it because Lana has already gone into it for a little bit, but I can see how you can like be in the situation in which Nikita is in and think that the queens are gatekeeping. I can see that point of view, but yeah, I really enjoyed Nikita. She was one of my favorites.
I'm kind of in the middle of you all because like I agree with Lana too, but I'm not as passionate about it. Like I agree with basically everything that you said. I don't care that much. But, but yes. Um, but the thing is, I want to like her is the thing. And I really want to like her in this episode I didn't. I disagree with the what you said that it wasn't good like good drama for TV. I thought it was I didn't necessarily liked what she was doing, but I thought it was entertaining television. That so I'm kind of in the middle, but that's um I I I hope she shows different sides of her because I want to like her. I didn't this first episode, but I'm still open to it. So
Next up, Mandy Moobs.
I thought Mandy Moves was a good person. And we didn't get a whole lot from her in this episode. So I'm waiting to see what else she has because they didn't give her a whole lot of time. But I think she has a great personality from what we saw.
I feel very justified in drafting Mandy for my team for this season, and I'm very happy with my choices.
For me, Mandy is still a big question mark. I feel like I need another like 2-3 episodes with her for me to really get into her. I I think it's just the fact that they didn't give her a lot of airtime here that I didn't get to know her a lot. So I just feel like I don't know her yet. So I like her so far, but I feel like I need to know more. So still a question mark for me.
yeah, I'm on the same page. Like I like what I've seen so far. It didn't leave like a big impression, but I liked it enough. But I'm excited to see more. I hope they give her more airtime because, like you said, we didn't get to see a lot, but what we saw was good.
Yeah, I agree with everybody. There's a strong presence with her. Like she feels like somebody who is going to do very well this season, even if this particular episode wasn't necessarily her moment to really shine. I think that's going to come very soon. And I love how shady she is too. Like even shading Beverly, saying like, "Oh yeah, I want to be the one that does the best from Brisbane, and all I have to do is win one challenge." I was like, okay. Plus, somebody, so I'm surprised Logan didn't bring this up, but somebody who's unashamed about being part of the kink community. And I saw her on Twitter. She's like, "Any pigs,
What are
please?
you
My
trying to
DMs
say
are open."
about me, David Healy?
I don't know. I
Hey,
just
it's okay to be
Confirmed.
proud. It's okay
be
to be
proud.
proud.
Well, no, it's correct, but what are you trying to say about me, David Healy?
That you're a proud kink person.
Yes,
Period.
Yes.
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 So then there we go.
But yes, she is one to watch. She like Lazy Susan. This is your competition, I think.
I can see them. Mm.
Now,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Lazy Susan's competition is Max, drag queen. And I'm very happy that I am starting with Max because Max is my top shelf of the episode. I just think everything we saw from her was polished, clean, on brand, on trend with where drag is at currently. Like she feels very future of drag. She feels very past, present, and future of Down Under drag in a great way for me. It definitely helped that, her mom is going to be the mentor for the first 2 episodes of this season, and I'm not mad at that at all. But I just think everything we got from her, from the personality to the looks to the energy coming in, well, yes, our first yes entrance on Drag Race. Thank you, Max. I just found her really, really enjoyable. And I'm really excited to see the youthful energy and the fabulous fashion that we're going to get from her this season.
Well, yes.
Well, yeah.
When it comes to Max, she's one of these girls that when they come in, you're like, oh, she's gonna do well, and like you could see that from the girls that were there. They also got the vibe of like, oh, should I just go home? Should I
That's someone
like
else, Eduardo. I'm gonna do it every
anyway?
time.
Anyways, yeah, she just has that like presence of her where everyone's just like, oh, maybe I should just leave because I'm definitely not winning with her being around. Like she is definitely up there for me when it comes to like the competition. I could absolutely see her making the finals, and I'm excited to see what she brings.
Yeah, I kind of feel similar with her that I feel about Mandy, but kind of like agreeing with like what you said, Eduardo. Like me personally, because I don't know anything about her, I'm still like question mark. But because of the impact that she had when she walked, impact on the queens that she had when she walked in, I kind of put in my mind like, okay, she's one to watch. But it wasn't something that I felt um because of it was just because of outside influence is what I'm saying. But I really enjoy her aesthetic. I feel like she's gonna really bring me a lot of joy on the runway, and I hope she stays enough so I can see a lot of what she brings. I think she's one of the queens that I'm the most excited to see her package.
Yeah, if I had to make bets right now, I would absolutely count on Max making it to the finale. I think that she's so if camp drag is really the main kind of drag for Australia, I think the second wave of drag is this type of drag that we're getting from Max and like Isis too. And she just feels like a great continuation from where Isis left off. Like she's picking up that torch, she's keeping similar sensibilities, but with her own edge too. So I'm really liking her. And I think that she's very respectful too. Like I was almost like something about her. I was expecting some arrogance when she came in, but no, she was giving so many people props and like even her talking about Karna very respectfully when we had other people shading her entrance look. She was like, this is my competition. She does the same thing I do. So I just really like her all around. And I think she's another one that's one to watch. Watch out, Lazy Susan.
Period.
She came
I
off
agree.
very endearing. Like,
I
yeah,
agree. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
I agree with that so much. I was gonna. She is so nice. Like that's what I got from her. I was like, she is just a nice person. Like she's the one of those people like I hang out with her. I think she would be such a nice, you know, person to hang out with. She was very complimentary. She was like I said, very respectful. I appreciated that. But she also knows who she is and how good she is. Like she's not gonna shy away from being the dancing diva. Well, the diva who loves to dance, period, in Sydney. Like she's not the dancing diva of Sydney. She's just a diva who loves to dance. And I
Melbourne, I
love
think.
huh?
She's from Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne. Oh, I
Mhm.
thought she said Dance Diva Melbourne. Yep, Dance Diva Melbourne. Okay. Well, anyway. But she's a dancing diva of Melbourne, but no, she's a diva who loves to dance in Melbourne. Okay. But I liked that I did appreciate that she knows how good she is, and she could be arrogant. She could have been cocky. She could have been like, baby, I know I'm good. And Isis is my mama, please. Like she could have been that, but she wasn't. And I appreciated and respected her for that. She was just a nice and I know Logan's gonna say it, but she was a nice vibe too. I know that's another girl, but she was the nice vibe. She came in and she was very refreshing, so I appreciated that. I liked her.
Next up, Freya Armani.
I loved Freya. I loved Freya so much this episode. She's just so I don't know. There's an energy about her that just gives me the vibe. She's another girl, but she gives me the energy of uh like very stiff competition. Like I can see her doing really well in this competition, and I'm really excited to see it so far. I just need to see a little bit more airtime for her because I don't think we got to see enough of her. So I wanted to see even more. Like I wanted to get to know her a lot more than we did because I think she did really well in the episode. So I wanted to really see her point of view, and hopefully moving on to the next episodes we will really get to see that. But I think she's stiff competition, and I think she's gonna do well.
Yeah, I want to see more. Like I'm still kind of neutral, more on the positive side, like in the sense of like I have good expectations. But I still don't feel strongly enough to like have a true opinion on Freya. But I enjoyed her overall. Just didn't make like a strong impression yet.
Yeah, I like Freya a lot. I think she's adorable in drag, but then when I saw her out of drag, I'm like, oh, what a cutie. Like I thought she was
Mhm.
super adorable. But I honestly like so going into the season, I kind of felt like I know who three of the top four are gonna be. And this episode really like confirmed that. But I've been looking like who would be the fourth person. And honestly, she's one that I'm thinking she might be sneaking in that top four as well. Um, and I've had so much fun like this year, especially watching American queens or people who have at least lived in America do drag on different franchises because you get to see them kind of marry that American aesthetic that we're used to and really lean into the culture of the drag scene from where they're competing. And I think that's so much fun to watch. And I can already tell that I'm going to have a lot of fun watching Freya this season.
I agree. I liked her a lot in this episode. Um, I like that, like you said, David, the US going into other. I like seeing other cultures coming into US drag doing the same thing, and so I like seeing that all around on each culture and each going to different franchises because you've moved or you've lived in these places. I love that because it's like the world is so small that we can all be in in different places living and love learning of different cultures and expressing it through this art form of drag. It's so amazing. I love seeing that. And we've seen that in so many different franchises this year. Love it. Freya is I like her. Oh, I don't know what it is, why I like her so much. We didn't get a whole lot of her this episode, but for some reason, she was the one for me that I was like, got my eye on you, girl. I'm looking at you. And I'm just gonna say this: gold is her color. Period. Gold is her gold, yellows. That's your color, girl. Work. Anyway, that's it.
I really like her. There's something so endearing about her as well. We were talking about it with Max, but there's something so endearing about her. I just find her energy to be so fun. I hope she doesn't get overshadowed by some of the bigger personalities on this cast. That's what I'll say. Because I could see that happening, and I think it would be a real shame. But I really like her so far. Olivia Dreams.
So Olivia is she seemed to me like I liked her. I thought she didn't have much uh personality, I don't think. Like to me it didn't um it kind of seems like she doesn't really seem like she has a point of view or like a vision in her drag. um at least I'm saying like I couldn't tell it, like I couldn't from what we saw this episode I couldn't tell who Olivia is as a her drag persona. Like I'm still, besides like looking beautiful because she does, I don't really see any perspective, anything really. um but I'm still like I still feel like she can surprise me, but she seems a little unsure to me.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. I think, and this might sound mean, I think she's probably the only queen this episode that if you completely took her edit out, you wouldn't feel it missing. Like you wouldn't feel her presence missing because we just didn't get enough from her personality wise or like with her drag. Like we didn't get enough that stood out. But I do think that there's a lot of potential there. Like I see I see elements of a point of view, so I'm ready for her to really tap into those, especially knowing that she's somebody who puts on productions back home. Like, I think that she does have a strong point of view. I'm just hoping that she can let that really shine in the next episode.
Yeah, I think this was just she was just nervous. I think her nerves got the best of her. I think she was just trying to figure herself out and find her footing. And this wasn't the best showing for her, but she showed potential. Like, she is a pretty, pretty, pretty girl. And I think she can do some really good things. Like, I don't think this was a bad episode for her. I just think it needed to be a little bit more. I think she has the potential to do better. And I'm so glad, like we already spoiled it, that nobody got home so we could see more of her. I'm excited to see it because I think she has the potential to do really good things. I like her.
Yeah, I think she's a sweetheart. I'm seeing where she's at with her drag. We know she hasn't been doing drag for that long. But I think her personality is really sweet and lovely. I'm excited to see what she brings on the runway throughout the season. And I'm intrigued to see what she's gonna do.
I'm gonna make a Survivor reference here. This is giving me Purple Olivia. She just was not really there, unfortunately. Like, she didn't get a lot of airtime. We didn't get to see a lot of her point of view, which is really unfortunate. She's just really shy from what we got to know from her. Like, she's very reserved, very quiet, and I see a lot of potential. I agree. She just needs to break out of her shell, and hopefully, now that she, like, the first episode has gone by, like, the hardest thing is out of the way. Maybe now she can really break out of her shell and show us who she really is. And, like, I hope that we get shown, like, more of her, and she isn't Purple Olivia the entire time.
Agreed. Brenda Bressed.
Brenda, she's another queen that when I think of Down Under Drag, this is it. Like, you're giving me everything I want from Down Under Drag. I'm so happy I drafted her because I think she had such a fun personality. She has a really cool aesthetic too. So I'm super excited for her. My only concern is I do feel like there are a few queens this season competing for kind of the same slot, the same like angle for the competition. And
Mm-hmm.
she's got some stiff competition in that arena. So I really hope she doesn't get overshadowed and overlooked. And I really hope that we can appreciate every one of those queens for what they bring individually instead of comparing them to each other. Because I really like Brenda.
You hit the nail on the head with that one because it is a lot
Mm-hmm.
of queens
Mm-hmm.
going for that particular style. And it's gonna honestly, that makes me exciting because it's going to be fun to see which queen comes out on top. Like, it doesn't matter if they win the whole thing or not. Which queen lasts the longest, who are going for that particular vibe. I'm excited.
That's another person.
I know. And I'm excited to see it. I thought Brenda was a good she did what I expected, but in a really good way. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I expected that, that's fine. No, it was like I expected it and I liked it. I like her. I didn't expect to like her as much as I did in this episode because from preseason I was like, oh, okay, I get her. I get her vibe, but I like her. I like her.
I'm also really liking her as well. I think you hit the nail on the head with that as well, Lana. She for me lives on the same drag planet as Molly Poppins, and I really like Molly. So I'm really excited to get to know more of Brenda. We didn't get to see a whole lot of her in this episode, but what we did get to see was clean, polished drag and a very clear point of view. And I think that's going to take her far in this competition. I think she's someone else that could sneak up and maybe, make it to the end game of this competition. And I wouldn't mind seeing it.
A little Maxi Shields too.
A little bit, yeah. Like, definitely Maxi Shield, Molly Poppins, even maybe like Hanaconda. Like,
Okay,
she's on the same drag planet as like a lot of those people. It's
Spanky.
very quintessential. I could see a universe for Spanky. she's just in the same drag universe as a lot of the great Down Under queens that we've seen on Drag Race so far, and I'm excited to see what she's gonna give.
Yeah, David unfortunately did steal the comparison that I was gonna make. So aesthetically, this is really interesting. Like for me, Brenda aesthetically is bringing something interesting and really polished, and like I don't know, there's something about her that I really enjoy. That like I am really excited to see like her point of view with a lot of these categories when it comes to the runway, and personality wise, you all have said it. She's really enjoyable. I want to see more as well. Uh, she just brings something really interesting to the competition, and I'm excited to see it.
And so young to have such a clear point of view too.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah.
meant
Oh,
to bring that up.
I
She's
was gonna say
24.
she does kind of paint a
oh.
little bit older, like when.
She paints older,
Mhm.
and there's a maturity about her,
Mhm.
and I'm curious if we're gonna hear that in her
Right.
story.
It's something that is, I think, related to what I was gonna say, because I was gonna say that I agree with what every one of you said, but I wanted to add that she gives me a feeling of comfort and safeness in her presence in drag, that feeling that I kind of felt when I see like Latrice Royale, like that I'm comfortable and
Sure.
safe,
Okay.
that I know I'm in good hands when it comes to her being an entertainer and a drag queen. Like I just
Like
feel,
mhm,
like you said, like she has that, like a warmth to her.
mhm,
I felt, and just to add that she had my favorite entrance. So work.
her. She has this like I didn't seeing just the entrance and seeing her like first confessional. I was not worried about her in the first challenge because I knew she would at least be safe. There is that level of I know Brenda's going to do well, and I hope we
Exactly.
get to see that throughout the season.
Hmm. Hmm.
Next up, Karna Ford. Lana.
It's me, huh?
It sure is. Yes.
And I'm glad that I get to start with Karna because I like Karna. And I don't care what none of them say. This entrance look wasn't that bad when they were talking about it. It was fine for an entrance look. It was fine. Karna's a performer. We've seen that, we know it. And this is a performance outfit. Karna came ready just in case something happened. They said she got to perform, she got to do a photo shoot. She was ready for whatever. She didn't come in with the big fluffy, flurry stuff that'll get in the way if they sprung a mini challenge on her where she had to do some physical stuff. She came ready to work. I thought Karna looked fine in this outfit, and I liked her spirit at the beginning of this episode. I enjoyed her. I thought she was I felt she came in very confident, and then she got a little humbled at the end, and she felt like, "Okay, oh, this is bigger than I thought. This is a lot like the competition is stiffer than I thought." And I like that. I don't mind that. I think everybody has a moment of feeling like, "Oh, okay, I do have to actually work at what I'm doing. It's not just going to come easy to me. This is not going to be a breeze in this competition. It's gonna take some hard work." And she got it early, and that's fine. I still liked her spirit throughout this episode. What was crazy to me, and well, we'll talk about it when we get to the episode, but in the workroom stuff, I liked how she was like, "So, whose interest look did you like? Whose interest didn't you like? Da 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 da." And then Lucina was like, "I ain't saying nothing because the persons I didn't like is asking the question." And I was like, "Oh, oh, not that." But I just found Karna to be refreshing. I enjoyed her this episode. And I hope what happened to her at the end of the episode will light that fire that could catapult her through the rest of the episode of the season. So
Not you in this one instance talking about Karna stealing my entire thought about Lucina.
ooh, sorry.
Lana.
Well, Julie, it happens.
We did a rotation for a reason. Anyway,
And I did my part. Thank you.
did you? Okay. Um, okay. I love Karna. I love Karna. I love Karna. I love Karna. I've loved Karna from the moment that she popped up on my screen in that Cynthia the Doll from Rugrats promo look. And I am just truly obsessed with her. There is something about me this year drafting Filipina queens, and I'm not mad at it because I love my Filipina queens dearly. I think she is going to be messy this season, and I want it, and I need it. And I think she's going to give us some great drag.
Every time I hear Karna's name, I think of, oh my god, shopping in Klarna is so smooth just because the name is so close. So I just think of that immediately.
The once,
Yeah.
the two, the twice, the three times. I love to shop the Karna.
Yeah, fully. That's how I feel. Like every time I hear Karna, I think Klarna? No. No, but seriously, Karna is just fun. Like the fact that when she came in, Max was like, "Oh, I have competition." That just tells you everything that you need to know about her. Like she's here to perform. She's here to perform, and she's here to burn the stage. I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't want to say that I want to see her be on the bottom in lip sync, but I do want to see her perform in lip sync. So like I feel like I need to see it. I'm really excited to see it because there's a lot of girls that claim to be like dancing divas and like performers, and I want to see them all perform. I'm really excited to see it. But yeah, Karna was really fun. I really enjoyed her.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. Mostly with you, Lana, when you said that you really liked her energy. Like that's the thing for me. Because honestly, I didn't really enjoy her aesthetic, at least what I've seen so far, that much. I didn't think it was bad by any means, but it's just it wasn't my favorite. But I do like her. What we got to see from her, who she is, how she presents herself, I just really enjoyed. And I think because she ended up in this episode representing something that I try to work on my personal life every day, and I think it's something that is important to be seen on a reality show, that is finding the balance between confidence and humility and respect for your competition. And I feel like we saw this journey in this episode with her, and I really appreciate her for that and for showing that. Because I really enjoy the human moments that we get from Drag Race, and the highlight with her this episode for me was the human moment of being like, yes, I need to be confident in myself, but like I also need to be to know that this is everyone is as confident and as good as me. So kind of finding that balance, and I really love that.
Yeah, I think Karna is a reminder of why representation is so important on these shows because there are underrepresented communities. And I'm so glad that she brought the culture of the Demogorgon to the show because we needed that. We needed
In
that.
my pocketbook, I'm leaving.
No, but for real. Sorry. I found Karna to be the most lovable queen on the cast so far after one episode. Like there was something that I instantly connected to her personality, and she came in so positive, so enthusiastic, so high energy. And it was really hard to watch that slowly deflate throughout the episode and seeing her compare herself to other people in the room. And I think she had a line in the episode where she's like, I didn't think everybody was going to go this hard with the looks. And
No, she said, I didn't think everyone was going to be this good, I think is what
yeah,
she said.
is that what it was?
Yeah.
But it was just kind of hard to watch because I wanted her to keep that confidence, and you just saw it like slowly fade away.
Mhm.
But I hope that she can recover. And if there is any franchise of Drag Race where looks don't matter, I would say that's Down Under because we have seen people go to the finale. We've seen people go like win Drag Race
Ooh, not Spanky
right where
Jackson
you
cutting
are.
David off.
Okay,
Spank-
not that. Spanky
Spanky
said,
said,
absolutely
"Bad
don't say that to
connection."
me.
Spanky Jackson said, "No, you're not going to say that
Absolutely not.
line. No,
Yeah.
no, don't speak ill about our Spanky Mother Tucker in the house tonight, David.
I'm not.
I'm cutting you
Spanky is
off."
Spanky's one of my favorites ever, but
About that, the
I
internet
do
is cutting him off.
I know.
But-
I think she could have a very similar trajectory to
Mhm.
Spanky. You have to have the confidence. That's a key ingredient
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
And so I really hope that she can find that again, and really believe in herself, because I think she's special, and I would love to see her do very well in this competition.
If there's one queen that I want to see more of, it's her.
I agree completely.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
And last up, we have Lucina Innocence. And Lana already said everything I was going to say about Lucina Innocence. So I think she's lovely and perfectly, silently shady. That's all.
I think I need some time with Lucina to really get into the vibe of Lucina. I know
That's
it's another girl.
girl.
Lord. But I really just needed like more time with her, because like when she came in, she had this energy of like, oh, this is gonna be stiff competition. Get ready, girls. And then she started talking, and I was like, oh, this is very 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 quiet, very very. You'll have to wait and see. And so I was like, either this is gonna be the greatest like surprise ever, or she's gonna kind of let me down a little bit. And after the performance, I was kind of let down a little bit. I just need her to break out of her shell. I really need her to like just. I need her to express herself and to like say her opinions, because she's keeping them all really quiet and close to her chest, and she's like answering a lot of the questions that the girls are giving her with, "You'll just have to wait and see. I want you to tell me what you are all about." I want you to tell me and show me what you're all about. And so far, I haven't really seen that. So hopefully next episode we'll get to see more of her.
Yeah, like there's no wait and see. Like, girl, we need to see it now. The clock is ticking. Like the competition started. The time is now. There's no waiting. But she did have my favorite entrance line, which was it was the one that I wrote down. She said, "I may not have a CUNT, but I sure can be one." And then it made me so excited for her. And then her personality didn't really match that. She was auntie in confessionals, and she was like shady, and I was able to see her personality more in confessionals than I was able to see when she was interacting with the other queens. So I feel like maybe she's a person that like in bigger groups, maybe she takes longer to warm up and open up and be able to be herself and show her personality more. Because I am that way, so I'm feeling like maybe she is like that because that's what it seemed. Because it feels like she has a lot to show and that she has a fun personality. But maybe in a more like quiet way, if that makes sense, like a more like that dry humor kind of thing. So I feel like she just needs a little more time to open up. But like I said, the time is now, and I want to see more. But I feel like if she gets to show us more, I feel like I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm waiting.
Yeah, I absolutely agree on the dry sense of humor. In fact, I would go as far to say is I think she is the queen that made me laugh the most throughout this episode. There were just like quiet, subtle things that she kept doing or saying throughout
Very
the
like
episode.
lyrical humor, like
Mhm.
that. She kind of gave me that same vibe in her
Yes.
confessional and humor, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very that.
Yeah, I even got a little bit of like Starlet vibes from Drag Race
Okay.
UK.
I
Mm-hmm.
I got a little bit like same energy, same starting energy as like Maya Iman LePage, where
Okay.
like she's very confident in her
Mm.
drag and what she's presenting, but her personality to the other girls is not coming across in the way that she wants it to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the hardest part I laughed throughout the episode was when she was saying she's not really a blue girl, she's more of a pink girl or a black girl. She's like, wait,
Ooh,
that
cancel.
doesn't.
Like not that
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 doesn't sound
got
good.
me.
I
I was like,
lost
I
it.
said, "Oh, girl, you good? You a black
The
girl?"
way she
The
clocked
way she
herself,
said
she's
it,
like,
She said like, "Oh no, I'm about to
especially
get
she's like,
Immediately.
canceled."
"Oh
Immediately.
no, I'm
you
a
know
black."
damn well she knows the history of Drag Race Down Under,
Oh,
and she
Right.
absolutely she does.
knows. And in that moment, I was
I
like, okay,
laughed.
I like this girl a lot.
I know.
Yep.
That,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
laughed the most at that too, David.
Yeah, and I do feel like if they were eliminating anybody this episode, it would have been her. So I'm really glad it was a non-elimination.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah,
ask
I
for
agree.
non-eliminations in the first episode, and
Me
I'm
too.
very glad we got it because I think she's a lot of fun in an unconventional way, and I'm very excited to see her for at least one more episode.
Absolutely. The wait and see for me, I'm like, well, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting because I know you got it. But I do think she is one of those people who takes a minute to warm up. She takes a minute to get to that point. And I'm like,
To settle in.
yeah, you're right. And
Mhm.
I know it's we don't really have a whole lot of time. And I hope she feels it for this week after being so close to being out the door that she's like, okay, I got to step it up. I don't have time to just wait and see what's going to happen because you're promising me something and I'm not getting the results that I wanted. I'm waiting, I'm seeing, and then we're still waiting and we're not seeing anything. And I know she has because she is silently funny. Like she's subtly funny. She's in the background. She's funny, but I want to see more. And I like her style. I do. I think she has more. And I want to see more. So I hope she is somebody who I want to see stick around for a while, so I can see what else she has because I think she has it in her.
Also, the shoes. The
Love
shoes.
those
Ooh.
shoes. But
The
I love
shoes.
those shoes anyway, even though it's like, yeah. But
Her. Well, I'm glad that we spent an hour talking about most of the episode already, so we can just kind of skip through the rest of it.
Mhm.
Because that's, I mean, and we're not talking about the challenge on this episode, because we'll be talking about it over on our Look Over Here episode, where you're talking about the entrance looks and the runways. So make sure to go check out that episode as well. We will have a lot of fabulous and wonderful thoughts about that. So, the queens are here. We get a room message. And she announces that Down Under Queens will be mentoring Down Under Queens, which again I think is a phenomenal way, especially with Rue not being there now and Michelle practically being a drag queen but not being a working drag queen.
Yeah.
Michelle Visage is the gray area between cis women and drag queens.
The thing is, Michelle as a host, she is there because she knows what the producers want, and she's there to fill the shoes of RuPaul. And then we need someone to have lived experience to give the like drag queen lived experience of feedback to the girls, because Michelle is like kind of a drag queen and she was like in the ballroom scene and all of that, but it is different. It is different than like having RuPaul or a working drag queen. Working, I say like in bars, not because RuPaul does work, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I feel I honestly hope this was like so refreshing in the best way possible, and I truly, truly hope that we get to see the same thing in maybe all of the franchises. I would say like the most that we can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yes, so Michelle walks in, and I have to say, my favorite part of this episode was just how much the girls were like, oh my God, Michelle is our host. Like, I was really worried that the girls were gonna be like, oh, it's not RuPaul. But, and this was what made me love Max so much, is Max in Confessional was just like, I really love that we have Michelle. She is kind of everyone's mom. And so I already feel this immense sense of safety with Michelle in this role. And I couldn't agree more. And I know that a lot of people were like, well, why not have a Down Under Queen host? And I get it. And I do think that is hopefully something we will see happen in the future. But for right now, in this transition period, because there's no precedent for RuPaul stepping down from hosting a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Michelle is in a very interesting position and in a very crucial position to keep Down Under, as successful as it has been, or improve the success of Down Under. I'm just very excited. Regardless, I'm just very excited for Michelle.
And I also think that she's the only person that RuPaul would trust to fill her, like to be in her place, because like you said,
Yeah.
it's different than a franchise, like a new franchise not having RuPaul as a host than being like a franchise that RuPaul used to host and now it changed. So I feel like it feels correct to have Michelle, and it also is kind of a way for production and RuPaul to kind of test how the fan base would feel having Michelle replace Rue for possible, like, because they must be
Mhm.
thinking of one day eventually, if they're gonna have to replace Rue
Yeah.
eventually, if they want to keep up with the show for many more years. So I feel like they're kind of thinking about it, and it's a good way to test it out. And I feel like it's positive so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like
What do you
slowly
think?
but surely RuPaul is gonna start doing like less and less on
Mhm.
these shows, and this is the way that they're testing it. Like, okay, we're gonna take one
Yeah.
of like the RuPaul seasons out of her hands
Mhm.
and give it to someone else to see how the fans react, and then
Mhm.
slowly but surely, like, we're gonna replace RuPaul in UK, and then
Hmm.
we're gonna do
I was
US.
about to say,
Yep.
don't be surprised if in a couple of years we see, I don't know, probably the Vivian.
Mhm, that's what I was
I
gonna
was
say. I
gonna
think
say Lawrence, but I think Lawrence is too young, honestly.
I think the fact that the Vivian has like that RuPaul has known the Vivian since before she was on Drag Race really tells you that she
Yeah.
would probably be the one to like
Or
take over.
I would say if we end up somehow with Lavoie winning UK, I could see
That
Lavoie
could
doing that too,
also
because Lavoie was the runner-up for the UK ambassador contest that Vivian won.
that could also
Oh,
be the case.
So
But
yeah.
yes, I was saying like I feel like slowly but surely we're gonna start like replacing RuPaul in a lot of situations, and this is just the beginning of it. But yeah,
especially
this is
when because of the traveling. I think RuPaul wants to do like the US because she doesn't have to travel to another country to do all of that.
mhm.
So,
She lives 3 blocks from where they
literally.
produce
Yeah.
US.
So
But
slowly but surely she's only
um
gonna be doing the US.
yeah. But yes, we find out that the maxi challenge for the premiere is a double runway. Not mad at it. Not mad at it. Not mad
Oh,
at it.
one thing I forgot to ask: do we know when the girls knew that Michelle was hosting? Did they
I
really just
believe
found out there,
when
or did
Michelle
they
walked
know?
in.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
believe it was when Michelle walked in. I don't
Yeah,
know
'cause
differently.
it didn't leak until like the season was filming.
Because
Okay.
so the
So,
original
like, maybe
leak,
production kind of told them before, and then told them to like act surprised. That's was my question, because
Yeah.
if we have any
there was
confirmation on it.
mhm. Well, and because of we'll talk about Sasha Colby here in a second. But because Sasha was here for the premiere, there was a rumor for a hot moment that Sasha was hosting.
Oh.
Um because she was
Mhm.
in Australia for a tour during that entire time.
Mm.
But then once she started popping up on her tour dates or something like that, they were like, "Oh no, it's not Sasha." Um, but yeah, so we're doing a double runway premiere, and the second category is double dippin', and we find out that each of the queens prior to the season was assigned a color, but 2 girls were assigned the same color. Oh no. Okay, so then why
Love
do
it.
the first runway? Why do the first runway when all y'all decided to judge on was the second runway?
Yeah, basically.
Is that all they judged on?
Well, kind
Seems
of.
like it.
But they talked about both looks, so
Yes, doesn't mean they judged on both.
I'm glad they did because I like getting to see more looks from them.
Well,
So I liked
yes.
seeing how they stand out alone and how they standed out with the other person. And so I think that really helped me get a good impression on how the people are on the runway so far.
I feel like the two categories were a really good way of letting us see their vision and get to know them. Like the choice of both categories together was a really good choice, because like I feel like giving a color is possibly the best way of seeing like who each person is, and like, because what do you do with something so vast? Like, all
Mhm.
you have to do is use this color. What's your vision? What's your point of view? You
Right.
know what I mean? So I really
Right.
love when they do that.
Yeah.
So I loved having it for the first episode. It was very, very cool.
Yeah. What I wrote down was, in the words of Hannah from Big Brother, this is a good twist.
It's a
Uh,
good twist.
I was living for it. I really enjoyed this. But I would have preferred if this like doubling down situation would have been like just a challenge on its own, like it was on Big Brother UK. Like I feel like that would have like bringing back that challenge.
Drag Race UK.
Drag Race UK.
Sorry, I got confused because I was talking Big Brother. Like I made that reference.
Yeah.
Valid.
Sorry, my brain just got
Also,
confused.
we all
have to
knew
do a
exactly
color
what you
runway
meant.
on this season of BB UK. Oh my god!
I would
need
love
go
to see that.
watch.
Actually, bring it in. I'm a producer. Come on.
They just evicted the gay, so you know.
Well, was I upset?
Anyway.
Not really. Anyways,
Not really. Anyway, but yes, most of the rest of the drama in this episode is Nikita and Vybe.
slay.
Oh, but one thing that I did you notice? Because I clocked it before we even saw the runway. When Michelle was telling the girls the categories, she made sure to say in the first one that it was two distinctively different looks.
Distinct looks.
Distinct.
Different looks.
He wanted them to because
You
I'm
And
need-
sure.
then it made me kind of, because she made that comment, I kind of judged the runway a little bit different. Because if it's just 2 in 1, it can be, it's more flexible. But if it's two distinct looks, that's a very specific brief.
I think Michelle was tired of seeing runways where it's supposed to be a reveal and it's just take off a coat or come out with something in front and drop it. And it's like, here's the reveal. Michelle wanted distinctly contrasting look in the runway. So
Because if
I like
she's
that.
2 in 1, it would still be open to interpretation of it being like a gown going to a swimsuit of like the same pattern, right? But with this, she really didn't leave anything open.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Open? No.
I don't even know her. No, I'm sorry. That just didn't go well.
Open
Well,
her.
I
I don't even know her.
I
Not
just wanted to say
this.
it because Michelle always says it every single time. But yeah.
Well, yes. But yeah, I honestly, there wasn't. We've kind of already talked about.
Yep,
all of
we
the
touched
worker
on it.
points. It's the
We
Nikita
touched on everything.
vibe. It's the Lucina. You know, we'll wait and see. Ooh. So I would suggest that we just go to the runway, and I'm stalling because I don't have the audio up currently. But now, guess what? I do. Can we all just take this first moment to just say, Sasha Colby?
She's here.
Literally, like,
but is she here?
Is
Are you
she
here, though?
here?
are you
Are
here?
you here?
Do you think you're here?
Do you think you're here?
Do you think you are here? Do you think you are
Sasha,
here?
do you think you are here?
Sasha, do you think you are here?
Do you think?
Oh, she's here.
But also,
Oh, she's
this
here.
is not Sasha. Yes, Sasha Colby. But also, Isis!
Isis looks
I'm
great.
going to say my friend, Isis Avis
No,
Lorraine.
one that we've met in person and chatted with.
No big deal.
Oh, not the.
No big deal. No
Good
big
for
deal.
you.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
so
you, I know.
great. But she looks fabulous. She looks.
Oh my god, everyone looks so
Amazing.
good.
Everyone looks great.
Everybody
Everyone
looks
looks
great.
good.
This is a great panel. This
Mhm.
is a great panel.
But I mean,
Hold on,
Sasha
look.
just
About
she
to say-
came to be the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch out, Thailand.
Mothered.
Watch out, Thailand. This panel was coming for you because the panel in Thailand been doing it up. And hold on, down under panel was like, hold my beer. Well, here we come. Period. And I love it. I love it.
Mhm. And Reese. I love Reese.
I love this jacket on Reese.
Mhm.
Her.
Reese is the best.
Love Reese.
Reese is
I-
the best
I-
male presenting person on this
Period.
on the franchise. Period. I like him the best out of all the men. I like Graham Norton and I like Ellen Carr, and sometimes I like Carson, but Reese is my favorite. I mean, you see who
Fair.
I didn't mention.
I
Hobbies. I ain't mentioned
I
them
was
at all.
literally about
They
to
have
say,
been getting
Justice
better
for
though.
doo-doo.
Don't care. Don't care. Don't care.
Don't talk about
like.
doo-doo.
Oh, doo-doo. Forgot about doo-doo. Oh my. I forgot.
Dumb
No, Oscar Madrazo?
dumb for
No,
doo-doo.
Oscar
No.
Madrazo?
I forgot about
Um,
it, but yeah.
because Isis was on this episode, I do just want to share my absolute favorite moment from DragCon. Not to rub it in, but this is my single favorite moment from DragCon, and I just want to share it with you all. Queens walking. Queens walking. Queens walking. Queens walking. Queens are walking. The queens, they're walking. They're walking. I just love Isis so much. She is such a fucking sweetheart. I love her so much. I love her so
That was a
much.
silent queen walking.
Queens walking.
I'm just like,
Yeah. David's there, and I'm like, Queens walking. Queens walking. I was
But
hoping
were
you would
you
join
there?
in, but no. But no,
I was letting
we
the
were very
queens
excited to be.
walk.
Thank you. I was very happy to be an escort for 5 minutes for Isis Loren. So obviously we are going to talk about the full runways over on the look over here, but by request of Mr. David Healy, we are going to talk specifically about the double dippin' runway and just very quickly say who we thought wore it best. So let's start with Eduardo. First up, we have Mandy and Lucina. Eduardo, who wore it best?
I think Mandy wore it best.
Mandy.
It's Mandy.
Yes, Mandy.
I'm going to try to do it like Sasha did. For this, I think Mandy wore it best.
She
I
really
love
did that
Sasha
every
down.
time.
I love Sasha down, but the way that she was just like, I think Mandy.
And it would
I
always be
just-
spoiled in the
He was
subtitles
so
for
funny
me.
for
Right. I was
Yeah.
like, not Sasha, but like, look, I know we all said the same thing, but I'm going to stick to the script. I think, for me, Mandy Ward. I'm like,
Literally, and I love Sasha for that
I love
so
her for it.
much.
I
love her for
it. We have our red duo, Karna Ford and Brenda Bressed. Eduardo, who wore it best?
I think, for me, Brenda wore it best.
to me personally, for me, Brenda.
If I had to pick somebody who wore it best, I think the one who wore it breast was Brenda.
in my own personal opinion, I believe that maybe happenstancely it was Brenda for me. Yeah.
I think for me, because I'm staying on script, I think for me, Brenda wore it breast.
Period.
Now, this one I think we might not all agree on. This is our
We
gold
might
duo.
not.
This is
I-
Freya
it's the
Armani and
closest.
Max Drag Queen.
It's the closest for me. too.
Eduardo, who wore it
Mhm.
best?
Okay, now for me personally, in my opinionated opinion, I think Max wore it best.
In my scores, by 1 point of difference,
Okay.
1 point. It was Freya.
I'm pretty torn. I think I'm leaning towards Freya.
In my own personal opinion, I think it was Freya.
For me, I think Max wore it better.
Mm-hmm.
But they both look incredible.
They both look so
Yeah, it was.
Tremendous.
This
So good.
was the closest for sure.
This is the
I
closest.
was gonna
for
say
sure.
the best as a group, but no, it was just the closest.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
This
we're
was the
back
best of the group.
Well, we're back to some unanimous decisions. I already know this for a fact. Sorry, Olivia. Olivia Dreams and Lazy Susan. Can we all just say it on 3?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Lazy
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 Susan.
Susan.
Absolutely.
Imagine if
Lazy
someone said
Susan.
Olivia.
Olivia. It's like, wait,
Olivia
what?
does not look bad,
But
though.
it's not
No,
bad.
he
This is a
looks-
great
Olivia does
look.
not look bad at all.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
We'll talk about the
It's
look over here. Olivia,
We'll
you need to look at the
Yeah,
look
no,
over
we're
here.
gonna talk about
because-
it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna
But
talk
yeah.
about it.
But can I just
God.
quickly say, Lazy Susan, favorite look of best look of the night,
Yeah.
maybe one of the best looks of Down Under of all time. For me,
I
personally.
would
For me.
agree with you, honestly. I think I would agree with you.
Yeah.
This probably will make my top 10 looks of the year. Not
I'm
even gonna lie.
I'm
Probably my top
leaning-
10.
I don't even know if this was my favorite look of hers of the night.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
I
Which
understand
just-
that.
It just says a
I
lot
understand
about
that
both
too,
looks.
which says
I
a
think-
lot. And I agree with you, David.
I'm
agree
excited
as well.
to talk about it. I'm
Mhm.
excited to talk about it.
Not Miss Lady Susan about
And
to
our
come up in
last
here and
duo
wreck our
are
Okay.
right. Our oranges, Nikita, Iman, and Vybe.
For me personally, I think that Vibe wore it best.
It's a vibe. For me.
Another close one. I think I'm gonna go with Nikita.
It's a vibe for me.
For me, because I'm gonna stay on script, I believe that Nikita wore it best.
Okay.
Cool.
But they both look really good.
Mhm.
It was a very close one. They both look really good.
I mean, orange on Nikita's skin, it's
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
it just
Sun-kissed.
pops. Yeah.
Looked like a whole sun-kissed bottle, and I loved
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It's very not strawberry sun-kissed, but the classic.
No, it's very
sun-kissed.
orange sun-kissed for sure.
Yes, God. Which
My
is
second
great.
favorite sun-kiss.
My favorite of the Sunkissed. But yes, I love that they critiqued all 10 queens. I thought that
Me
especially in an
too.
episode that was so short for a premiere. We didn't talk
Mhm.
about that. Short-ish for a premiere.
Kinda.
On track with Down Under. I actually went back and looked. It's on track with the length of other premieres that we've seen from them. But I love that all 10 of the girls got critiqued. I think that was a really again, this episode really just cemented that, like, no, I think they care about these queens, and I'm happy to see that. I'm really, really happy to see that. But
It's
we
the
get our
same
critique.
format of that we have for Drag Race, but the small subtle changes that they made, like that, giving all the queens feedback in the first episode, like all the small changes they made, just they got it right for Down Under. I hope they just spread all of the changes throughout the franchises.
Agreed. Well, we go back into the workroom for the Untucked. It's not super, there's no drama. The bottom girls know that they're the bottom girls, and
The winner
Karna
knows they're the
has-
winner.
The winner
Yeah.
knows
Absolutely
she
the
won.
winner.
Karna
Everyone
has a bit
knows.
of a moment. This is where we get the culmination of kind of like the Karna going from so high and she's so excited and confident to, oh dear God, I might be going home first.
Yeah.
And I hated it because I love her.
But she didn't, so that's great.
Yeah.
You already said that.
Yes, we've already talked about it. So we might as well just go talk about the results.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
while they did not distinctly name a top 3 on the runway, there were 3 girls that did well in the challenge that were given the critique when the judges were just by themselves. So by proxy, we know that our top 3 of the week was Max, Susan. I almost called her lazy. I kind of want to call her lazy.
Mhm.
Max,
Mhm.
Susan, and Nikita.
Sure.
I'm not mad.
But I don't agree.
I
think
agree
they
with
were
two
3
of
the
these.
best.
I agree with 2 of these.
I agree with 2 of these.
Yeah, 2 of them. I would have probably switched one out with somebody else, but I'm not that mad at it. It's not that big of a deal, honestly.
No. But the winner, of course, we've already telegraphed it. They knew. We all knew. It's Lazy
Period.
Susan.
Obviously.
Deserved.
It's
Ate
Lazy
up.
Susan.
I mean, what a
Deserved.
show.
Deserved.
I mean, a show. Nobody has dominated a runway that I've seen in like this in a
A
minute
premiere.
that I've seen.
Like the
A
full
premiere?
episode.
The whole episode from beginning to end, it was the Lazy Susan show.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
But from coming in first, looking great, and having a great personality to like winning in the end. Like the perfect showing.
Full top shelf, Top shelf.
Top shelf indeed. Top shelf indeed.
Well, I agree with you all, but wanted to spread the wealth
Fair.
of the top shelf. Because I'm selfless like that for you all.
Shelfless.
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 Anyway, we have our bottom three as Karna, Lucina, and Olivia, apparently.
Oh,
David.
Not Oliver.
I didn't do anything.
that was me.
Lana.
Well, I mean, you should have saw it and fixed it, but you chose not to. You chose to embarrass me and say I don't know how to spell. So that says a lot
In front
about
of your
you.
friends
Then
and,
it says about
family
me.
members and folks at home.
It says a lot about you than it does about me.
Anyway, it doesn't matter because she was saved. And I was very happy about that.
Mhm.
Very
Mhm.
happy about that. We ended with the bottom two of Karna and Lucina, and I didn't want to see either of them go, and guess what? Neither of them did. But we get Rush by Troye Sivan as our lip sync song, period!
I was
Yeah.
gagged. I was
Good song.
I was
gagged.
gagged.
I didn't think we would get Rush this quickly. Like
No.
normally when like new songs come out, you have to wait like 2-3 seasons for them to be on Drag Race, for RuPaul to finally be like, oh yeah, this song exists. I'm gonna make it a lip sync song. So when this one came up, I was super excited. I love this song, and Karna absolutely killed it. I was really enjoying this performance from Karna.
Yeah, I actually thought for the first half I was like, wait, is Lucina gonna win this? Because I
Yeah, but
thought
they kept
Lucina
showing her.
she came out of the gate really strong, and I think there's something about her height that makes her so commanding, and like your eyes are drawn to her. And Karna looks so tiny next to her,
Mhm.
but I think Karna really picked up steam in the second half, and I do think Karna won by the second half, but it was close enough for me that I was very much hoping both of them would stay. We've never had a double Shantae before on Drag Race Down Under, have we? I don't think we have, because we've always had top threes, right? And it's always 8 episodes. So that makes me think.
Yeah.
That makes me think: are we getting a top 4 this season, or
I
is it
think
going to be a
so.
longer season?
Or we having a double go home next time or something soon. So I don't know.
I don't know.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting
no,
to see.
now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think we've had a double save on Down Under before. I'm not remembering it if we have.
And here, I'm gonna say something. I'm glad we still have both of these queens in the competition because I do want to see more from both of them.
Mhm.
I just don't think this lip sync was a lip sync that would fit
Warrant?
a double safe. And I don't think the first episode is the best place for that. I would much rather, if they didn't want to send anyone home the first episode, if they did a lip sync for the win instead of
Yeah.
lip sync for your life. But then,
Lazy
with
Susan
Lazy
would
Susan
probably have
being the
won.
clear winner,
Clear winner,
it
right?
would be weird to have her lip
Yeah.
sync with the second best because the second best was not even close. So I understand,
Yeah.
but do I like it necessarily the way that it was done? No,
Yeah.
but I like that we still have both the queens.
Yeah,
So.
because
Mhm.
I don't know if it was a lip sync for the win. I feel very confident in who it would have been, and I don't know that Lazy Susan wins the lip sync necessarily. I don't know her lip
Exactly.
syncing ability, so I'm not sure. For me,
But
it
wearing
probably would have
that
been
skirt that she could
Yeah.
wearing what she was wearing,
lip syncing
she
to
would
Rush.
barely be able to move, and with her makeup, we would barely be able to see her lips moving. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
Lip
I think
sync
it
for
would have been
second place.
Susan. Pretty much.
Right.
I think
That
it would have
would've been
been.
iconic.
do the best
I think
and
it
then
would've-
lip sync for second place. Like no,
Yeah,
that would
it's
feel
not-
wrong.
Nikita and Max, you all get to lip sync for who was second best this week.
But that
Right.
lip sync would have been iconic though. Like, can
Would've.
you
That would have been a
imagine?
great lip sync.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I can confirm every episode has had an elimination. So this was the first one not
Okay.
to.
Wild.
So yeah, I did think I think Karna did a great performance and Lucina did fine. But I don't know. It was a fine lip sync and and it's weird to have a double save, but I'm conflicted.
I don't mind having a non-elimination premiere. I don't think this was the most deserving lip sync we've ever seen of a double save. We just saw a very deserving double save on Drag Race España, in my opinion.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of, it's a lot of recency bias where I'm like, I'm kind of comparing it to other double saves that we've had recently. While I don't think this is, you know, the most deserving lip sync of a double save, I don't think this was a bad lip sync either. I think Lucina did kind of the best that she could. And I think Karna did a really good job. If I had to name a winner, it would have been Karna, but I'm very happy that no one goes home because we're doubling down, we're double dipping, we're double dressing, we're double saving.
My only worry is with the season, if we have a lip sync that is really good and really close, and then we have to send someone home because we already had a double stay. That's the thing.
But that's not what Down Under does. I think we really need to stop thinking about this as a double save, like, oh, this was double Shantae worthy, and think of it as a twist just to extend all of the girls' lives for 2 episodes.
Absolutely.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And because look here, y'all know how I am about double saves anyway. Somebody needs to go home. And I think the premiere episode is the only time I'm like, okay, nobody needs to go home because we barely know these girls and we need to extend the life of them and know who they are. But after that, I don't care if the lip sync is won by a hair. Somebody got to go home. And we're going to have to make this decision. And sorry, child, sashay away. Bye. You got to go. This is competition. This is what you came here for. And I don't care if the lip sync was both of y'all did the exact same thing and it was so good. You are the judging panel and you need to send somebody home because we have a certain amount of episodes to get through. So I don't mind folks going home, and double saves is like one episode, I'll take it. And the premiere episode will probably be the best for me. I don't want a double save in the middle of the episode or the middle of the season. And it's like, so we're at top 5. Send somebody home. Nope. We're back at top 5. Like,
note to self: never show Lana season 14 of
Oh,
US
absolutely
Drag Race.
not. She would.
No, God, no.
No.
It's already not a great season.
No, it's
already
great
too long.
season. It's one of my favorite seasons of US Drag Race.
My only critique about it is that it is too long. It is too damn long.
Oh, well. Then don't tell me that.
What I will say, Lana, is because of how many times double saves happen and other saves happen, the last episode where someone is actually eliminated, there are 7 queens left.
That's ridiculous. No, that'll get on my nerves. No, thank you.
Season 14 is wild. It is wild.
An enigma in a beautiful way, wrapped up with
it is a black
straight
sheep
man
of the Drag Race
being on Drag
family.
Race for the first time.
It's a category on its own.
Yeah, there were so many things going on that season. Damn.
Anyway, draft update, David.
Ooh.
Well, I know I'm in last, and I'm not thrilled about that.
Unfortunately for you, probably. Meanwhile,
Who
River
are
and
the teams? I would like to know since I'm not in the draft.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so we had two people who were drafted twice because there were 3 of us drafting and there were 10 queens. So the teams are: Team David is Brenda, Lazy Susan, Max Drag Queen, and Vybe. Team Lana is Freya, Armani, Lucina, Innocence, Vybe, and Max Drag Queen. So we already got the 2 repeats out of the way there. And then Team Logan is Karna Ford, Mandy Moobs, Nikita Iman, and Olivia Dreams. So
a completely unique and different drafting experience.
Yes, it was. And you all might...
And I'm in last place.
You all might have a good idea of how things are going based on hearing the teams, but it's actually pretty close between a couple of people.
Between you and Lana,
a
David,
couple
you don't have to
people
say
out
between
of
a couple
3.
of people.
Lord.
A couple of people out of 3. I'm in last place.
Okay, Logan is in last place with 10 points.
I'll take it.
But it's pretty close because in second place is Lana with 11 points. So it's pretty close between you two.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm in first place with 15 points.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah. It's because of my Lucina and Logan's Karna
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
took us.
Yeah.
And then
I
Lazy
also have
Susan, you
Olivia.
got yes, and you
Yes.
had Olivia. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're not out yet.
Things are going to shake up,
Things
I'm
will
sure.
shake and shift up.
Too
Absolutely.
early to tell.
But I'm very happy with my team.
Me too. I love my team.
I am also very happy with my unique drafting experience. So, no, I actually really like all four of my queens. But next week is girl groups inspired by Olivia Newton-John.
Love it.
Mhm.
Iconic.
I was here to see this challenge.
And we get Queen Kong.
We do.
Queen
For a girl
Kong!
group,
Yay.
which I
Not-
love that they're
Perfect.
picking queens that like make sense with
Queen,
the
Queen is
challenge,
the
because it
only-
does make
Queen
sense
is the
having
only queen
Sasha
that makes
for
sense.
looks, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Isis, for that matter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully they'll actually use Queen Kong's choreography this time.
Right, literally.
Remember last season she came in and taught
Uh-huh.
the Queen's choreography
Yep.
and then they didn't end up using it.
Nope, not at all.
But-
Not even in the
And I
slightest.
did- I did see when the trailer dropped for the season, there was a lot of really nasty comments about Queen being in the trailer. And I get frustrations with Global, but please, let's just chill out a little bit.
It's
Chill
over.
out.
Yeah, like it's over. Let's
I
move
was
Let's
gonna
on.
move
say,
on.
Let's
I
move
was gonna say,
on.
I'm excited to see Down Under Queen Kong again, as opposed to Global All Stars Queen Kong. I'm
Yes.
very excited
Yeah.
for Down Under Queen Kong.
And she's another one we met at DragCon, and she was really nice. She was very
a
kind.
delight. So yes, but with that being said, we're gonna end this off. So thank you for joining us for this recap episode. Make sure to go check out our look over here, where we're gonna talk about a whole hell of a lot of looks. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Check out the description below, where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers!
Cheers.